Hello, beautiful people. I am really hot right now, so I actually came into Vegas because I needed to get an alignment, and Vegas is actually the closest place to where I'm living right now. To get an alignment, unfortunately, I did have to get 3 new tires because one of them was very visibly falling apart and the other 2 had bubbles in them, but thankfully, guys, I did have enough money to do that with the alignment, and the guy was so sweet. He ended up giving me alignment for $80 instead of $120, simply because I had to go to another shop and get new tires. But I also did a little bit of fun shopping. I came into town a little bit early, so I stopped at a brewery and I got myself a little wrap. And I started looking at where I could find crystal shops, and surprisingly, apparently I was literally parked right next to one and I didn't even notice it. But I went into this crystal shop and I want to show you guys some of the fun stuff that I got. I think it was called the Honey Pot. If you want to go in there, awesome vibes. The lady that helped me, I think her name was Lisa, she was so sweet. But start off, got a couple selenite crystals. I got some black kyanite, which is one of my absolute favorite stones, and I actually don't find this in many crystal shops. As well as some, I believe, apatite. And this is one that I've been wanting to get for a little while now, and it just kind of shouted at me. As well as I got some sage and Palo Santo, but they happen to have a table with Kate's Magic intention-based aromatherapy. These are Reiki infused, basically. This is literally my favorite brand to buy essential oils from. These ones are specifically anointing oils, but I use them as essential oils, kind of as perfume for myself. And legitimately, their Moon Goddess blend, which I have talked about in one of my very first videos that I made. This has been my go-to scent for like the past, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. This Moon Goddess scent, it is a jasmine blend, and this is hands down the most phenomenal smelling jasmine scent that I've ever had. And then they have this bottle called Healing of the Heart, and it's Rose Otto and Lavender. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But the lid was broken on this, and I was like, I smelled it, I was like, oh my god, that smells so good. And the reason, so the big part about this, guys, I've wanted to re-up on my Jasmine Moon Goddess oil for a while now, but I just haven't really wanted to splurge on it and go online to do that. I don't really do a lot of online shopping. They had all of these for 50% off. So I think this is usually about $25, and they had them listed for $20, and I got it for $10. This one with the broken lid, I was like, I'll buy it anyway. They ended up giving it to me for free. Smells so good, dude. And then I went into a little herbal shop. I think it's called Herbally Grounded. And I just went in to check it out, but I actually did need some of my herbs and such that I have run out of. So Shilajit is one of the most phenomenal, I wouldn't even call it an herb. It's kind of like really old dirt. This stuff makes me feel so amazing, and over the past, like, I don't know, I found out about this about 7 years ago from my little brother, and about over the past like 4 or 5 months, I started taking it on the regular, and it is so good at helping my energy levels, my mental health, emotional health. It makes my body feel amazing. So I got some Shilajit. I actually this time got the actual resin, which is a little bit more expensive, but it lasts a lot longer, and I just kind of like the idea of it having not, like, less processing, you know? As well as black seed, which I'm going to grind up and add to tea or coffee or whatever. This is also something that I started taking many years ago daily, and it helped to heal my IBS, and I had like some major health issues. The doctors thought that I had Crohn's disease, and I started taking this stuff every single day, and it completely fixed my problems with that. Now I still take it on the regular. I probably take these things like about every other day, but it has been a couple months since I've ran out of these, so it was so awesome. I'm also gonna grind this stuff up and, like I said, put in some stuff. got some flaxseed. The guy actually thought that I said flaxseed instead of black seed, and I was like, actually, I do need flaxseed, because I also usually take this daily. I usually get ground flaxseed, and I will take like a tablespoon or two mixed with a lot of water before bed, and it helps to regulate my shits, basically. I'm very honest about poop on this channel, guys, and I have dealt with constipation since I was a very little girl. I think that my body's very sensitive to what I take in, as well as sensitive to stress. This stuff just helps regulate that, plus I get my omegas, good stuff. As well as I got some shiitake powder, which is just so good for so many things. And it's something that I've wanting to be taking on the regular. I'll probably put this in with my coffee, to be honest. But yeah, I just got some really beautiful things today, and I was sitting in my car after I got out of the Herbally Grounded store, and I just started feeling really sad. And not like post-spending shame, but I think something kind of similar to it, where it's like, okay, I think that the crystals were a little bit more of kind of like gifts to myself, but I also believe that those are massive healing tools. While the other things, I also got some wormwood, guys. I love wormwood. If you've never had wormwood, I highly recommend it. It does have an extremely strong bitter taste, so people only usually use a little bit. But I personally, the more that I've taken wormwood, the more that I love that taste of bitter. Bitter tasting things are actually generally very, very good for your body. This is great at cleansing parasites. You can smoke this stuff. It can have not really strong hallucinogenic effects, but some people say it is slightly hallucinogenic. Just be careful if you do smoke it, because if you smoke too much, you might get headaches. But I prefer this in a tea. Every once in a while I'll smoke it, but it's more of a tea stuff. But anyway, I got out of the store, I started feeling sad, and I think that I was just like sitting with it. I was like, okay, it's okay to feel sad, because I started thinking about me wanting my van and my bus, and I'm sitting there, and I don't have a problem with being in the city right now, because I don't live in the city, so it's kind of nice every once in a while to get away and come here. I just let myself sit with it. I was like, hey, I'm not shaming myself for spending money, because I got some really awesome things, some things that I use daily, things that are really good for my body and my mind and my spirit. And the sadness was just kind of aimed towards not having my bus or my van and a bigger living space, and feeling sad about not being on the road again, and like not fully, and still kind of feeling like in this in-between place where I'm in a new spot and I'm saving again, and it was just kind of like this disappointment. And so I just let myself feel it, because I'm like, you know what, you're allowed to feel sad and disappointed and all of that. So I felt it, and I got a little bit teary-eyed, and just allowed myself to feel that discouragement around, this is a huge goal of mine that I've had for a really long time that I haven't achieved yet. And recently I've been thinking a lot on what I haven't done yet, and I think that there are certain things in my life, like conversations I've had with people, that I've actually had to take my distance from, because we have very different views on living and lifestyles and the such. But I gotta admit, guys, I have been feeling kind of down on myself about where I'm at, even though it's mixed with all this gratefulness and peace. And then I turned on some music with my little boombox, which I have to say, this has been on a list, like not this specific one. I had a JBL speaker on my personal wish list when I really want certain things that I am not willing to spend the money on yet. I put them on this little wish list and hope that I find them, or that somebody gifts them to me. I had a friend that gifted me this boombox, and it works amazingly. but it was on my wish list for a long time, and I just started playing music off of it. So I start playing Trevor Hall, and I love Trevor Hall. I've loved him for years, and recently I've just started listening to his music a lot more, and I think it's just because I have been changing myself so much into walking away from toxicity, environmentally as well in myself, that I have just been pouring positivity in my life. And it was Pacific Coast, I believe, that started playing first. And I just am sitting here and I look at all these beautiful things that I have bought or been gifted, and I just feel this overwhelming gratefulness. Overwhelming gratefulness. I got my favorite little essential oil for $10. $15 less than what I would usually spend, and about $20 less than if I'd bought it online. I got one for free. I got a crystal that I've been wanting for a long time. I got my herbs and my nutrients for my mind and for my health. I got some good food. I'm drinking on some alkaline water, and I usually use refillable water bottles, but I forgot it today, so I got that alkaline smart water. I'm wearing all these beautiful things. I'm surrounded by beauty in my little car home. And I just feel this overwhelming peace about my bus dream. And I think of all the things that I have manifested, the things that I have, whether it's something that I've bought, created, or been gifted. All the things that happened for me, and I just hear this like little voice inside of myself that's like, do you really think that that is too big for me? Do you really think that I cannot make that happen for you too? And some would call that like the voice of God or intuition, or I would consider it spirit. That's usually the terminology that I personally use. If I've been able to give you all of these things, do you really think that that is too big for me to create for you as well? And then I remember these videos that I've watched of other beautiful little gypsies and nomads, whatever term that you have for yourself if you are a traveler of any kind. Whether you're more of a lingering traveler like myself, or the type that stays in a spot for a few days and then on to the next, go type. But I remembered these beautiful videos, and I'm so grateful that people share. I'm so grateful that people share, because I don't think that some of these people realize just how influential that they are and how much positivity and encouragement they bring to my life. These people who lived even in small cars like Priuses for the same amount of time that I've lived in my 4Runner, and finally got their van or bus. And it's just like, I may not be this perfect image of what somebody might view a gypsy or a traveler or a nomad as, and that doesn't really matter, because even if I haven't necessarily achieved certain things, or if I don't live to the extreme that I desire for myself in this lifestyle, that I can achieve that. It's okay to move slowly in life. It's okay to achieve your goals slowly. I'm not the type of person who wants a career or who has that as a goal and an aim, and I will admit there are times when I do receive judgment from others, including family and friends, for not being simply, they're family oriented, because as a woman there's so much pressure to have children, or being career oriented. And I don't really have either of those as main goals in my mind, and that's okay. I'm so grateful for these little things that are filling my car with beautiful smells and beautiful vibes, and are just going to be filling my body with beautiful nutrients. I have so much to be grateful for, and I just wanted to share that I can feel sad about what I haven't achieved, and it doesn't mean that I need to shame myself when I spend money on things that I desire or need or whatever it is. It's okay to feel sad or disappointed or discouraged because I'm not quite the person that I want to be, or I don't have the big things that I want. But at the same time, I have so much to be grateful for. I have so much good that fills my life in so many ways. It's wild to feel this overwhelming love, and I want to say gratefulness, but it just feels like an overwhelming amount of love that rose out of allowing myself to feel sad and disappointed about not having my bus yet. It's okay if it takes me a long time to achieve or to create that for myself. I was gifted this lovely little, look at this, little koala. And at the time, because I'm all about spirit animals and mysticism and what everything means, whether it's insects or animals or numbers or colors or whatever, and the message behind the koala was about relaxation and chilling and moving slowly. And I think that it reminded me that it is perfectly fine to not move quickly in life. I'm not in competition with anybody else, and I will achieve my goals. I will achieve my dreams. They're all in the works and in the process right now, and there's just so much good to enjoy in this moment, to get too caught up in the things that I don't have. I am already far more blessed than many. So much more blessed. Look at this. Sheilaji. Hell yeah. So gratitude, guys. That's kind of my message. It's okay to feel sad and disappointed. But there's also so much to be grateful for. I've come a long way. Hell yeah. Okay, you guys. That's gonna be it. I love you. I believe in you. Please do like and subscribe, and I hope that I see you next time. Okay, bye.